Who would have known? Greenland is actually green and quite beautiful. I mean, stunningly beautiful. I mean, it's just absolutely spectacular out here.
Hey, as promised, this week's video is about our amazing adventure to West Greenland. And if you haven't as yet subscribed, please do so below and enjoy the video. Let's do this. Hey, Happy New Year! As promised, I'm back with a video about our amazing trip to West Greenland. And before I forget, this week's video is kindly sponsored by Dehancer, a product which I knew nothing about until this month, but I've used it in color grading this video, and I'll talk a little more about my experience with it at the end of this video. So stay tuned and hang around, and I'll have a special 10% discount code for you if you like what you see and if you're interested in purchasing it. So our last polar adventure for 2024 took us to the west coast of Greenland, to a little town known as Ilulissat, which in order to get to, we had to first fly to Iceland. Now, spending any time in Iceland is always a treat, and of course, I took my camera with me for a stroll around Reyjkavik. While I'm normally being kidded by my fellow photographers for all the gear I carry while traveling, I've found, actually, that some of my favorite captures are with a prime 40mm lens, just walking about town, looking for interesting things to capture. The next day, we headed out of Reyjkavik to fly to Ilulissat, and the first sight of Disko Bay was just simply spectacular. The airport in Ilulissat, more like a small trailer where your bags are dropped off, was only a few minutes' drive from our hotel, which sat on the mouth of Disko Bay. Fresh snow had fallen that day, and the bay, which had a few icebergs floating in the distance, would soon fill up with the massive chunks of ice that this town is so well known for. After coming off a trip to Svalbard, my hopes of topping that experience were tempered. But as we started to explore the wonders of Greenland, I soon found that this place was perhaps one of the most spectacular places I'd ever been to. I'll let the pictures and video footage speak for itself, so sit back and enjoy.
This is incredible.
How's it going, Art?
Going good.
Don't look back.
Don't hit any whales. Bird.
Okay, I need to pause the video here for an explanation. Yes, that is me driving the boat to Disko Bay. It turns out we picked one of the worst days to take a boat ride across to Disko Island, with huge swells, major wind gusts, and at one point the boat starting to take on water, all the while maneuvering huge skyscraper-sized icebergs in the process. The term Titanic came up more than once, and so I was volunteered to steer the boat while the crew fixed the leak. Fun. Needless to say, we made it in one piece to Disko Island, and we got to explore the amazing Inuit village of Kakaitasui. First impressions on arrival was how unbelievably remote this place was, and the small population of Inuits that live here year-round. Once the winter hits, the only means of transportation is by sled dog. And these amazing Greenlandic huskies, actually more wolf than husky, can be seen and heard in every village we traveled through. The beautiful, colorful homes are a throwback to early Greenlandic tradition of color-coding homes by the businesses represented by the inhabitants. And while I avoided taking pictures of the children, it was the Inuit villagers, and especially the children, whose beautiful faces and playful attitudes shined out brightly in contrast to the stark remoteness of these villages.
It's a great morning. Beautiful fog. Beautiful lakes. Amazing hike. Good to be alive.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. As I mentioned earlier, I was asked by the nice people of Dehancer to try their product out, and I was given full rein as to comment any way I thought fit, whether I liked their product or not. I have to say, as a photographer who strives to enhance my photographs and videos, I was interested to understand why anyone would call their video editing product Dehancer. But as I've learned over the past month studying the process of color grading and filmography, contrary to the tack-sharp images that photographers are always striving to obtain, film directors and cinematographers have been choosing the type of film to use within their productions by taking advantage of the color cast or grain the film used will portray on the big screen. Depending what type of mood or effect is desired, even films today shot digitally are redone in post by color grading and adding back grain for the specific desired effect. This gives an added dimension to the film's overall presentation that adds to the storyline, acting, and viewer's experience. While watching films over the holidays with my kids and grandkids, I was amazed at how every film I watched, even those I've seen thousands of times, have a different color grade and grain dimension that I never noticed before. The instant we put on Harry Potter, I couldn't help now but recognize the orange cast that was used in its filming, emphasizing, I guess, the wizarding world of Hogwarts. Now, I can't claim to be an expert, but after using Dehancer, I found it to be quite easy to maneuver. I just add an adjustment layer in Final Cut Pro over the initial basic exposure and saturation changes I've made, and with Dehancer, I can choose from a variety of LUTs, camera-type film grains, and color grades, and even just make simple adjustments to the midtones, highlights, black point, and white point, thus being able to maintain unanimity throughout my video. Now, opposed to other color grading processes, Dehancer allows me to control the degree of the effect I'm adding to the project. If you're interested in Dehancer, check it out on their website. And if you choose to purchase it, make sure to use the promo code ARTIDOC10 in checkout, and you'll get 10% off. I'll leave a link down below to the website. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. It really helps me and this channel to grow. Have a great new year, everyone. And remember, take your camera wherever you go. Till next time.